suing my former bestie, iDubbbz.
Oh, I guess I'll just comment on this because I see iDubbbz said, I am not dropping the lawsuit. And, well, listen, it's a bunch of technical bullshit. It's just we're in negotiating the terms of the settlement still. And that's it. I don't know. It's what it is. You know what I mean? We're negotiating the terms of the it's a meeting about the settlement. That's it. That's all it is. Right? So, whatever.
Everyone assumed Ethan Klein just quietly kept a dead lawsuit alive against iDubbbz for no reason. That's not actually what's happening. According to Klein himself, there's a signed agreement in this case, and he says iDubbbz and Anisa broke their end of it. In this one, we're correcting the record on what's actually going on between them, because the real story is messier than a straightforward line.
All right. Thank you, AB. So, anyway, following all that, Ian went on his stream and displayed this message for his whole
crimes. Edmonton didn't commit a crime.
The whole broadcast.
Edmonton's the best. Okay, actually, while
and the title is Ian iDubbbz browses H3 snark as a VTuber.
Address this, I will have this just available on screen. So that
so it says he's blowing this up and he does
aren't confused.
He does it as a watermark for his whole hours-long stream. It's a comment that says, quick daily reminder that Ethan from H3 is likely a pedophile who has molested his own children.
Destiny made an unfounded, extremely serious claim suggesting Klein had molested his own kids. In February, iDubbbz displayed that exact comment on screen during a Scorched Legume stream, in character as his dragon alter ego, and left it up for 40 straight minutes. He said on stream he didn't agree with it. That didn't stop it from sitting there in front of his own audience the whole time. Klein responded publicly in May, revealing he'd sent Canadian defamation lawyers after iDubbbz and Anisa, demanding a retraction. iDubbbz started pulling back almost immediately, admitting on stream that the Destiny situation was the moment that woke him up. But pulling back wasn't enough to stop it, and on June 9th, he confirmed the lawsuit was officially filed in Calgary.
I don't want to take away from the purpose of this video, and that is to apologize to Ethan Klein and his family, especially his kids. Basically, Ethan is suing me for having rebroadcasted a statement made by Destiny on my stream. I did display the very disgusting comment for 40 minutes, and it was wrong. It was a comment from Destiny, and I even said that I don't agree with it, but it sort of highlights how I knew that it was a wrong thing to put out there into the universe and show people. Regardless of the point I was making, it was wrong.
Here's the detail that actually matters and got glossed over at times. Around the same window as the apology, Denims put out a reaction video pointing out that Klein wasn't offering an unconditional drop. He was specifically asking for what he called a sincere apology from both iDubbbz and separately from Noah Samson before he'd actually let either lawsuit go. That's not the same thing as Klein simply forgiving and moving on. It means the drop was tied to a condition being met in the first place, which sets up everything that happened next. Klein still posted publicly the same day that he'd instructed his attorneys to drop the lawsuit entirely. And for over a month, that's what everyone believed had actually happened. Condition met, case closed. Then July 31st came around, and iDubbbz revealed on stream that the case was still active, with real court dates attached. That's the part that made everyone assume Klein had simply lied. But it turns out there's more to it than that. Because Klein came out with an Instagram story directly addressing it, and this is the part almost nobody had context for. He wrote that his one condition for totally dropping the case was, in his words, so laughably small and easy that people would realize iDubbbz and Anisa are just doing this for attention. He said he'd respect the Canadian legal system and not discuss the ongoing negotiations directly, but then went further, stating plainly that they'd already signed an agreement, that iDubbbz and Anisa reneged on it, and that the upcoming hearing exists specifically for a judge to decide whether they actually upheld their side of that agreement. According to Klein, they didn't.
Important news. I'm going to try to be as candid about this as possible. I have my points written down in front of me. So here is the news. Here's the important news. Number one, Ethan Klein has not dropped the lawsuit. Number two, we've been actively dealing with it for the past couple of months. Number 3, I'm bringing it up now because now we have court dates, basically. And so, it's becoming a lot more real. I'm not particularly surprised, but I am disappointed. There really isn't much else I can say about the matter right now because, it's legal. It's legal. So, yeah, we're going to keep pushing on. That doesn't change anything here. For the rest of the stream, I am going to be doing what we normally do. So, yeah, that is it. I'm not going to be answering any questions in chat related to it. But there you go. I didn't even make you guys wait too long. Congratulations.
That completely changes the shape of this story. It's not simply Klein backing out of a promise for no reason. It's a dispute over whether a specific condition inside a signed settlement was actually honored. And right now, that's genuinely contested, with each side pointing at the other as the one who broke the deal. iDubbbz's side hasn't offered a detailed public rebuttal to the specific claim that an agreement was reneged on, which leaves Klein's version as the only detailed account currently on the record, even though it's obviously coming from one side of an active dispute.
What's concerning about me trying to hold him accountable for saying I molest my children? I mean, seriously? I'm kind of befuddled that people actually disagree with me, although I'm assuming they just don't have the full context. And then also, I kind of give the same answer to the Kino boys who I've shouted out before. I do think they're funny, but he gave this this is funny. He gave this very impassioned post about how, although Ian is whatever, yada, yada, I stand behind Ian's right to say that Ethan molested his children because it's free speech. It's not free speech to say that. It's not.
Once that story got out, reactions split fast. Some people pointed out this actually makes Klein look more reasonable than the initial version of events suggested, since a broken settlement condition is a very different thing from just reneging on a public promise out of pettiness. Others stayed skeptical, noting Klein controls the entire framing here, since he's the only one who's laid out details publicly, and that laughably small and easy is doing a lot of work in a story where the actual condition still hasn't been spelled out for the public, obviously coming from one side of an active dispute. Add it all up, and the real story here isn't as simple as either side originally made it sound. iDubbbz gave a full, unconditional apology. Klein's drop was never actually unconditional to begin with. It required a specific term being met, and now a judge, not the internet, is the one who's going to decide whether that term was actually upheld. Whatever the ruling ends up being, this is a much messier, much more human dispute than the clean villain story everyone ran with back in June. Drop a comment on whether you think the agreement was actually broken, and subscribe so you catch the ruling when it comes.